Catherine Austin Fitz is going to be with us in the second segment of the next hour, 8 after. I want to go to calls, but George, you're making a really good point about how you read the New York Times and it's all this well-woven together disinformation, rationales, and it's just a continual narrative of deception. It's a matrix of fraud. But when you know all the facts, then it's completely clear. But the average person, it's all written like it's reasonable. But it's a fantasy land. It's like people with fantasy football. I mean, they're acting like they're really running quarterbacks. And on this little power trip, it's the same thing. They're all in this little box.
Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing because I have been studying this stuff for a long, long time. And the other day I was reading the New York Times, which is the #1 publication, and I start reading articles about cap and trade or the vaccines or whatever it was, and I just let myself read it like without my own point of view, and I realized how incredibly seductive and believable their point is.
Because they'll mix a little truth in and have a smattering, yeah.
And they do this so well. And as you say, this is the Matrix. And what we're facing is so similar to the movie The Matrix. The illusion out there is just deeper, deeper, deeper than almost any of us can understand. And we have to understand that to get through this period of time and what the Mayan calendar calls 2012 or what the rishis in India call the changing from the Kali Yuga to the Dwapara Yuga. This has all been prophesized for a long time.
Well, the elite believe there's a big change, but it's not going to be the end of the world. They believe they're bringing their system in, and they're actually trying to suppress people waking up because they know a big change is coming. Let's take some calls. Matthew in Arizona, you're on the air with George Humphrey. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex, you guys are doing great today, but I have something really important to bring up that I never really hear on your show, and it's students at universities and how bad the liberal propaganda has been getting.
Well, we do talk about how they don't let people have free speech in a lot of universities. They bully the students. They call it liberal. It's not. It's really fascism. And it's anti-family, it's anti-male. They want to destroy the existing order so that everybody is basically destitute, institutionalized, and have to lean on the state. George?
Well, when I think of liberal, I think of Thomas Jefferson. I think of somebody with an open mind, who is inquisitive, who is there, who wants to play by the rules, who has an open heart. To call these son-of-a-guns liberal, and we all have these friends who are liberal Democrats.
Well, see, that's the matrix. They think they're Thomas Jefferson and the average liberal, when really they're working for a eugenics death cult.
In the reality is that about 99% of the liberal Democrats in this country believe that they're doing the right thing. They think they're doing the right thing. They read the New York Times. They watch CNN. They've swallowed this lie, hook, line, and sinker.
And they know their liberal paradigm isn't perfect, but it's better than that Republican paradigm, which is only another wing on the same bird. Thank you, Matthew. Don in Toronto, you're on the air. Go ahead, Don.
Yes, hi, Alex. George, I'm calling from Canada where the H1N1 massive vaccine campaign is in full throttle right now, and there have been reports of one person dying of complications.
There's a bunch of reports of deaths all over the world, China, France, England, and they're really covering most of them up.
And I just wanted to ask George, you seem to see more police presence in Mexico. The army is everywhere due to the fight against the drug cartel.
The fight against drug dealers that aren't paying their cut.
Does George see increased militarization in North America?
There's no question about it. It's already happening.
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
We're going to go to break. Thank you so much, Don. Anything else?
Well, I just wondered if this H1N1 campaign goes any further and there's more deaths involved.
We'll be right back. We are back live with George Humphrey in the studio with us for a final segment. Continuing with your phone calls, let's talk to Matt in the... Well, you know what? Don was asking about the H1N1 briefly. H1N1 is being used to set up a medical tyranny, to set the precedent, to give us shots. They're now announcing, oh, you're going to have to get a regular flu shot every year and the swine flu.
And boosters. And, which is just... Look, even the Mayo Clinic, which is the most establishment organization in this country, is saying they wouldn't take the shots.
And those are moral decisions. These are establishment people that I guarantee you are getting in trouble for this. Doctors are all over the world saying don't take it, and they still call us conspiracy theorists. That isn't going to hold water.
You know, and the amazing thing is if you look back at the, quote, swine flu, it is not possible for an avian flu to coexist with the mammal flu. And it just doesn't happen in nature. And this is clearly a man-made, genetically modified flu. And now that they're finding strains of the 1918 flu influenza, that they went up a couple of years ago, they went up to Spitsberg, which is some islands north of Iceland. They're controlled by Norway, where they bury these people, and got strains of the flu from people who died up there.
And it's suddenly, and I remember 8 years ago when they did that and it was in the news, we said, look out, they're going to bring it back. And then now this dead flu is resurrected.
You know, and I think it's going to be really interesting. I don't know what's happening in the Ukraine today, but about 5 or 6 days ago, they got a very virulent flu in the Ukraine.
Well, their government is even admitting that they believe that all the different flu vaccines have mutated to form this.
Yeah, and so we've got to keep our eye on it. But the most important thing is don't trust the vaccines. They don't help. They'll make you sick. There's people right here in Austin, Texas, who've taken it and who have become paralyzed.
I know a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the best way to protect yourself is to be healthy, to eat good, clean, organic, raw food.
And a lot of sunshine.
A lot of sunshine. Get that vitamin D and eat good, clean, organic fruits and vegetables.
Let's take one more or two more calls. Matt in the UK, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex, and hi, George. Good afternoon. And by the way, Alex, you are growing very rapidly in the UK, by the way, so put your head up high, mate.
But see, I mean, here's the problem. I'm going to have you make your point, but on the whole ADL subject, I want to get bigger to reach more people, but I'm almost like steaming towards my destruction, but I morally have to do it. It's not like, ooh, I'm getting big. I'm a celebrity now around the world. You know, I mean, bigger and bigger. Media now, when they talk about conspiracies, just uses my name, Alex Jones. It's like a meme. I want to be honest. I don't like it, but thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah, I have a banking question. Basically, you mentioned about the U.S. banking system. I'm going to tell you about the U.K. banking system at the moment. There's millions and millions of people trying to get back their bank charges, and basically the banks aren't even budging. Shops are closing every day in the U.K., but the government keeps saying that growth is here. What do you guys reckon to that one?
George, what's your take on the economy deteriorating, people losing their jobs, but the media is saying we've got a great economy?
Well, it's very clear is that in the last 5 years, consumer spending has represented 67 to 71% of the whole gross domestic national product. Now, and that was when the unemployment rate was about 4.5%, and the economy was basically humming along. Today, the unemployment, the official rates are 10.25% unemployment. The real number is somewhere between 14.5% to 17% unemployment. Those are the real numbers, and the people who are not fully employed. The amount of debt is not getting better. It's getting worse and worse and worse. We have a huge number of commercial banking mortgage bundles that will be coming up. The second round of residential bundles are coming up, which is what set this thing off in the first
George,
place.
We're out of time. We got Catherine Austin Fitz on the line coming up. First time she's going to be on this. Very excited about that. And I'm sorry to Matt and others holding. You only get about 30 seconds on air. We just ran out of time. But thank you so much, Matt. Keep spreading the word. God bless you. Just kind of freaking me out, though, to realize that this message is getting out like this.